Good day, Lords and ladies, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity as we get back into the campaign. Now, we picked up this new party member. She's a cipher. I don't know how we use ciphers. Encyclopedia, perhaps. Law, perhaps. No. Tips. Injuries, character statistics. Nope. Nope. Apparently we're going to sort of figure it out as it goes. From what I can tell, though, from what I've seen of her, she's apparently an assassination expert, or at least a stealth expert. Fighting spirit, second wind, knockdown. Yeah, so what you'd probably want to do with her is you probably want to get her to stealth and then assassinate, combined with her abilities, which seem to be all linked to her focus. If we talk to her...
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
I have questions for you. You addressed me as a Watcher when we met. Did you know what a Watcher is? There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as she is going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen.
The title came unbidden. I do not know why I spoke of it. Yet it seemed the right mantle, a familiar one.
Yet I do not know where it came, if I have given offence. Oddly enough, it feels like she is not speaking to you. It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill which persists for a short moment, then fades into a dull fear. If I have given offence, forgive me, you know more than I. Have you encountered Watchers before? I do not know. It is an old feeling. I do not know where it stems from. It was a word that arose when you saw me. It said Watchers see much that others do not. I have hidden from the eyes of others for some time. Let me ask you something else. Let's see. Why are you afraid? Let's ask her that. I do not know. It's an odd feeling. So that's the same thing for both answers, okay. How is it no one can see you?
Their eyes see me, but their minds will not remember past the call.
A cull?
My face is like the call of a newborn, hiding the face beneath. And for my body, I am able to wrap myself as a mother cradling her child. I am here, as you see me, but to them, their eyes see only the cloak that I wear, a peasant mother, dirty, shabby, not worth knowing. As a Watcher, you see more than others. To the eyes of most, I am as unseen as the spirits you share memories with.
How are you unable to affect minds? I divert the flow of their senses down a different path to a place easily forgotten. It's not unwelcome when one does not desire the presence of others. The surface of their mind registers a figure, but the memory slips away. They see a woman, but there is no desire for conversation, no desire for any questions, and I have none to ask. Let's ask something different. When we first met, how were you able to enter? How was I able to enter your dream?
I do not know. What do you speak of? If you were in my thoughts, I could not feel your presence, nor do I know what you saw there.
As she speaks, you suddenly feel an odd sensation in your mind, as if walking in her thoughts would be as if walking down the back street of merchant stalls. Claustrophobia of wooden cells and canvas tarps made less oppressive by the sheer number of enticing vials and bottles that stretch out to the side of you. You suddenly realise that whatever she permits it or not, you could enter her dream and observe it without her knowing, and in response your hand twitches. There is a feeling that you could simply pick up a vial, taste it, sample it, and keep the memory as your own. And suddenly you find yourself back in your present thoughts. Though you are away, but for a moment you seem unaware of your diversions of thought. It may be one of your gifts, the ability to walk into memories as easily as someone walks upon the ground. Perhaps you would like to hear what I saw in your memories. A mixture of curiosity and fear wells up between you. She raises her left hand, the chiming of her wrist quelled the rise within her, and she is frightened, but curiosity anchors her.
And what did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak of them.
The dream, the memory I saw upon meeting you, it was you, helping me give birth to a child. There is silence, and your breath falls still as you hear the faint cry of a child in the distance, a newborn child, almost exactly like what you heard in your dream. As you listen, the grieving mother raises both her hands as if wavering, her wrists chiming as she does so. It's a semblance of a gentle turning she provides while the newborn was crowning. To the surprise, you recognize the motions and the words from the memory as if they are new to you. As she waves her hands through the air in front of her, the child's cries grow still, yet the sound of chimes weaves almost hypnotically into your thoughts. The sky seems sharper and clearer, and you feel as if you are towering over your surroundings, as if kneeling atop a great pillar, just as she did in the memory. To your surprise, the grieving mother falls as if her strings are cut, and her knees crack hard against the ground. Her hands never cease moving in the air. The chimes echo her movements. In a ragged voice you hear her speak. The voice is that of a much older woman than the one before you, harsh, almost desperate.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
We were in the middle of a clear forest, a strong wind tearing through it. A huge forest stretching out beneath a great rock. A mountain ledge, I think. It was high up. Snow, I think. She leans back as if looking back to the sky, her eyes still closed, the film building on them. The slow intake of breath, you feel time become quiet around you. I do not feel the memory, I do not know if it is mine, but a hair falls back across her features like a veil. She nods, not with her chin, but a push of her mind, but thanks for trying. I want you to talk about the birth memory again, help you recall it. There is a silence and your breath falls still. You hear the faint cry of a child in the distance, newborn child, almost exactly like what you heard in your dream. As you listen, the grieving mother raises both hands as if wavering. And actually, we've done that. We've heard that.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
A huge forest stretching out beneath a great rock. She kneels before you on the ground. She whispers to you, hoarsely and faintly, with a distance between you.
The stone of the plateau. Its color. Tell me its color.
It was a desert rock, copper-coloured, arched, blasted by the sun. It was silver adra, its surface warmed by the sun. It was a plateau of granite. It's a silver adra. A silver adra. As you watch her hands rise above her, she clasps them and cups them, as if feeling them for the first time, and she stares down at the cradle of her hands, and the chimes once, twice, and they swing with the movement.
And what did these hands hold?
They held the mother while she gave birth, painfully. She leans back, as if looking back to the sky. Her eyes are closed. The film building on them with a slow intake of breaths. You feel time became quiet around you. Okay, so we got it wrong. Okay.
Tell me what you saw.
A huge forest stretches up beneath the rock.
The stone of the plateau. Its color. Tell me its color.
Plateau of granite carved into a tower. Okay, so we got it right the first time. So let's see, it's blah blah blah.
Tell me what you saw.
A huge forest.
The stone of the plateau.
So that was right.
And what did these hands hold?
Let's do. I'm not sure there was a child you were bringing forth, and the hands I do not recall. There is a sudden take of breath and then a release. Her eyes blur closed, forming into slits. But in the brief glimpse you have her changing expression, the rippled pain in her features seems to have smoothed. She swallows once, twice. Then you feel her once again in her thoughts. The rasping husk of her voice shallowed and drawn within her.
It was the birthing bell you saw. As been so long? Have I forgotten so much?
With the words comes rivers of impulses thought, as if loosed from a breaking dam, and your mind wraps the impulses into words. You realise it is her muscles and hardened thoughts relaxing and breathing again. There is such an intensity, you almost want to step back from the flow, but you find the wave of impulses cause questions to float to the surface. Amongst them is a name, Watcher. What is the birth bell?
It is a plateau formed of the spirit stone Audra. At its top is set a great bell, cradled in the reaching arm of the plateau. It stirs in the wind, and it sounds for leagues when struck by kith hands. In distant times, the great bell served as a Glanfathan watchtower, perhaps. Why they abandoned it, I do not know. Other men came in time, settlers, and claimed the tower as their own. I, in turn, claimed it from them. The pillar became a cradle where I could draw new souls into the world.
In your memory, you were helping a woman give birth.
Yes. Yet, I believe you only saw a small part of the birthing ritual. It is not all in a moment, nor in a day. It is a journey of many years between the child, the mother, and I.
There is much I could do to aid the mother. Some sought the physical comforts of ritual to steady their thoughts, even Adra from the bell. Others would seek advice, words of counsel for days ahead. I was able to provide draughts, tinctures, and reading of the child's spirit, all to strengthen the mother. A telling of the child's spirit?
Many would come seeking their child's future, or a reading into the child's past, the lives its soul is said to have lived.
There's a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she is going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen, and in there is a spike of fear, alarm.
Such things are not mine to see. I meant no offense.
Oddly enough, you feel like she's not speaking to you. It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge of chill, which persists for a short moment, then fades into a dull fear. You hear the words "Watcher" resounding in your mind. You're frightened. Something about Watchers. As thoughts of Watchers cross your mind, you feel a sharp pain, stabbing, and the sudden burning of lashes across your back and shoulders. And then it's gone, and you feel the grieving mother before you, silent, almost fearful, wary.
I was something else, but because the title Watcher was cast on me, the word carried a weight I had neither earned nor deserved. The world seems filled with such titles. They distract, I think, from the actions of the person, from their strengths.
Why did you believe you were a Watcher?
The world has many corners, and in some corners the name Watcher is more known. It is an easier title than others, and at times it is easier to wear. Placing a title upon what is unknown can dispel the fear of it, and I did not fight it. I even believed it true, though I knew little of the ways of Watchers. It even granted me strength. I was able to see the thoughts of others, shape them, and help guide souls. Watcher seemed enough, and the name seemed to matter little in the light of one's acts.
But if they came to you to read their child's soul, what did you tell them?
I drew upon the present. I felt the soul of the mother before me, and used that to tell the child's path, to give it a voice. If only the thoughts of the mother and the emotions that lie beneath were mine to impart. I did, and so I used that as the telling of their child's future.
And what if they turned out to be untrue?
Futures fulfilled by one's own spirit are as strong as anything seen by another's eyes. And if one draws from the emotion of the mother, it matters only when harm is done. And their lives I knew well. I could weave their lives, their thoughts over time, to the mother, to the child, and once the child had been born, was sheltered, I could relax the threads of thought until the child could stand on its own.
So you shaped their thoughts, made their readings true.
This is my calling, to show them the life I see before them, and even greater, make them believe it.
But it's not what a Watcher does. We do not shape minds, we see them as they are.
Even The most strongly worded tells may not be enough to save a child and allow it to be born. If I have the strength to strip away the stem of a mother's spite to expose kindness, weave nurturing from disdain and neglect, then that is my calling. And with the weight of Watcher behind my thoughts, these tells gain strength. Strength I never possessed on my own. They believed. And what they believed became the truth. With each child that was set upon that path, the title of Watcher became stronger. You must understand, without such weight upon my words, many lives would have been lost, drowned, cast in the lake beyond the bell. Now the trail to the lake is lost and reclaimed by the forest, as was meant. A Watcher was not there to look over us, but it was a Watcher that saved them, and with a Watcher's strength, children were born, were cared for, and grew strong.
It seems your readings were necessary.
What use is a frightened will when a spirit is at stake? Would you let the fears of a mother end her newborn's life? You felt it in the memory, the weight of it, the importance of the child's life. It was a memory we shared.
That memory, it's not the truth, is it? A sudden, there's a rasping cry across your consciousness. She raises her hand, and you see the chimes draped from them, yet they make no sound as she moves.
A greater good was done, and children were saved. It is a choice you may be forced to make one day, and when faced with it, you will make the same one.
When that happens, I'll be making my own choice.
This choice is not yours to make, Watcher. You will do as the world needs, as its children need. It is greater than you and your twist of sight.
Let us continue our journey for now. Addendum Adam, the dream of memory. Learn the grieving mother's past. When I first encountered the grieving mother, I met a strange woman, yet though for our minds experience powerful communication, I know little about what of her or where she comes from. I first encountered the grieving mother on the road. I experienced a dream, or was it a memory of childbirth? Perhaps the grieving mother herself can explain it, what she saw. She didn't realise I could see inside her mind, nor did she know what it was this person was. If I can help her record the details, perhaps she'll be able to tell me more. The memory involved the place known as the birthing bell, clearly of great significance to the grieving mother. Perhaps she can tell me something of what happened there and why it's important to her. The grieving mother was a midwife of the birthing bell and used to read the souls of unborn children. However, she admitted that such readings were often fabricated based on what the expectations of the mother wanted to hear. She clearly thought she was doing what the women and children a service, but she wasn't inclined to discuss the matter further at this moment. Perhaps she'll open up more as our journey continues.
Just say the word.
Well, I can understand where she's coming from, to be honest. Like, the amount of children, if you can give purpose to something.
Just say the word.
Like parents worry about children. It's a natural thing, I suppose. Well, they're supposed to. I don't know. Hey, it's a heavy topic, isn't it? You look at it, it's like, do I really want to discuss this topic? And let's enchant her gear. Oh, it's already exceptional. Okay. Let's make his gear exceptional. There we go.
Yeah.
Hero. More mercenaries. Yeah, it's another one of those soul readings. I wish there was more reason
Can you
to.
smell the oily notes of brain fat in the air? Cured leather always makes me so hungry.
That's not creepy in the slightest, mate. Potions for sale, potions, and oh.
Hail, traveler.
A young woman leans against a wagon. One arm and one side of her face are covered in bandages with raw. Oh, so you went ow, so you know oh. Raw, ripped flesh sewing underneath, and a minty, tangy scent wafts from her dressing. She smells painfully. Just ventured into the town. I'm about dry on some of my stock, but you're welcome to have a look. How did you get burned? She turned her face to the ground. By the flame, how bad does it look? Just say it. I know you'll tell me straight. It looks like it hurts. Relax, it's not that bad. I'm surprised you can go out in public like that. Who cares how it looks? What matters is that you're okay. It looks like it hurts. She laughs ruefully. That's a mighty soft way of putting it. I've been keeping my eye on the Drake's Nest east of town, at Dyford Crossing. The beast stayed just long enough to lay a clutch and move on. Thank the Sky Mother it wasn't a full-grown dragon. She looks at the bandages, her bandaged arms and grimaces. Fresh eggs are more useful than the ones that you get passed between merchants or left in nests for weeks or more. And that clutch looked like it to be at its peak. Thought I'd see about getting an egg, but I didn't realise so many of them had already hatched. Oh, or that the young worms were so territorial. What's so special about these eggs? They're one of the strongest tonics known to the Kith. If you leave out growing Golan, of course. I'm not saying anything, so take that. But dragon eggs are known to make Kith bold, purposeful. Some might even think they'll protect from bulwarks. She shrugs. All I know is everyone's pining after potions made from dragon eggs. But the damn roads can't reach none of my supplies, so I'm stuck with whatever I can scrounge up in the woods. Dry cap, river reed, and the like. I can get an egg for you. She keeps her gaze steady, but you see hope kindling in her eyes and twitching at the corners of her mouth. Really? Don't think you want to help with something like this, but I won't turn down the offer. She bites her lip. If you really mean to go after it, I'll certainly pay you. Just remember, big as they are, dragon eggs are fragile, and there's a lot more I can do with a whole one.
Good day, stranger.
Anything else I can do for you? I've got some handy ointments if you're braving the road anytime soon. Tell me about these dragon eggs. Okay. It's a nest perched on the cliff at the east end of Dyford Crossing. That's out in the wild, just east of here. I'm sure there's others elsewhere, but the one at the Dyford Crossing is just the age I need. If you head out that way, be careful. The place is crawling with worms. When I went out there, and I can't imagine if anywhere else. What's wrong with the roads? A noise of disgust rattles from her throat. Brigands, looters, you name it. The gods may be hollowing out our babies, but it's grown foe that's robbing out the rest of us. People are scrambling to the Defiance Bay because they hear that healthy births there, and all the refugees are abandoned homes attract desperate sorts like flies on dog shit. I'm looking for an Orlan named Nifir. I did see an Orlan lady heading into the Durgan Dracogen just the other day. She points across the road to a large building. Don't know what her name was, but she was acting really sneaky like. Let's see her your wares. Sure thing. Okay, so C provides tonics and crafting resources. Is there anything we desperately need? No. That's annoying. Okay. So C's burnt. Her model isn't though, that's a shame.
Just
Not
say
that
the word.
it'd be nice to if you had details like, oh yeah, the character's horribly burnt, but it doesn't show it on the portrait. She's been missing for days. You people can't keep stonewalling us. And you can't just barge into our homes. We told you she's not here. I don't suppose you've seen a young elf nobleman around these parts.
Yeah.
Got a bad feeling about that. Elder Antelope Horn. Okay.
Just say the word.
Turgur's Curie. Okay. Turgur's Curie. Draconic Inn. Apothecary. Armory and Arms. Okay.
Leave it to me.
Let's go in here. Interesting. There seems to be some kind of ruined tower. It's really abandoned structures. Can't find it anywhere. We'll talk about it later. Get back to the dyes. I'll take care of our customers. Yeah, there's something in this barrel. Curie's key. The key is stained by dye in which you found it. Okay. That's stealing.
How do you do?
A sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands on his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vat, and his arms are stained with dye. You're looking to purchase some levers? What's in the collapsed tower? It's collapsed. Nothing. He rolls his eyes and shrugs. Just a few hide-stretching racks and a tallow stand. Tallow stents. Durgle's always grumbling about the rest of the keep's dust, just like the fool Lady Fuat who tried to hold it. There's a bard at the inn who'll tell you the whole blazing story if you want to hear it. So something we have for sale. So he's got hide gear. What's this? That's Girdle of Mortal Protection. That's useful against critical hits. Trollhide belt. That's not too bad. Actually, I could get her. Does he have a belt? That's the question. So he had that on. Have you seen Neferia and Orlan from the Defiance Bay? Make it a point to keep out of other people's business. Okay.
Just say the word.
No one for chit-chat, godlike. Speak to Turgle if you want questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Stay out of my private quarters. That goes for you and Harlan's bootlickers. Okay, sorry. Unless the daughter's trapped in there, probably. No, it was really a really good example of this is that if you look at out of Britain in the early when was it? Was it 400 and it's 400 and something AD. It's like 470 AD or something. The Romans officially leave Britain, like their administrative army leaves. And the thing that's really interesting is that the locals attempt to keep on keeping the system, like the system of government and stuff going. You see them repairing towns, like trying to repair the big Roman towns. It's fascinating because over time the repairs become more and more crude as techniques and supplies and resources become less scarce. So, for example, a temple may be repaired, like the stone walls and stuff may be repaired in it. But if it becomes too much to repair, like that stone temple will be torn down and a wooden temple will be put in its place because a wooden temple is easier to repair. It's really fascinating.
Just say the word.
Of course, then you have a whole shift away from the whole town structure once once the Saxons turn up. You see them moving to their own settlements. And a lot of Roman cities and towns get abandoned because they're not easy to defend. Because they require a large standing army. Most large cities require some kind of defensible. Right, so we're in the village. We're in the inn as well.
Just say the word.
Sid. Villagers everywhere. I think this is the bard.
I just want to find her. Surely even you can understand that.
We're decent folk, my lord. Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
My money is that they're keeping a hostage somewhere.
How do you do?
The innkeeper digs inside his mug with dirty raggy eyes you under his thick brows and are tired but Watford. He gives you a quick nod. Don't see many travellers these days. Something I can do for you. What is the exchange with the nobleman about? Folk around here are decent. They mind their own business. You want to stick your nose into it? Go talk to him yourself. Yeah, I reckon the village are keeping the kid hostage, like they got a cellar or something as a slave. Let's see what I'd like to order some food and drink. Okay, so he's got the standard stuff. He's not going to be that helpful. What's this? The portrait depicts a man and a woman dressed in Adrian garb that would have been in style a century ago. The heavy frame has been battered and the plate that once bore the patron's name has been scratched out. The seraph passionate embrace which seems at odds with the disgust in their faces. Table has been scarred and stained from decades of use. It's a big tree. If they've made it a single tree section, it looks like they have. Right, so this is the bard. But I think this is a good place to end it, folks. I know there hasn't been much action. We did a lot of basically just like role playing. But we will push the story on to next time. I've been Cornish-Knight. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Steam. Or leave a comment in the comment section. I'll get back in contact with you. So see you all next time, folks. Goodbye.